Okay, so for this video, I'm going to show you how to use a grid to lay out your poster options. And again, this one I am pulling from the one that I did the other day. So here is the grid structure. This one is pulled from this little poster that I went through and showed you how to break it down the other day. Doesn't mean you have to use the one you broke down. Again, you can create your own structure if you want to, but again, the goal is that you have some kind of structure to this one. This one happens to be a hierarchy structure with a column base. So the way I am going to go about doing this is go File, New, going to go to Print, scroll down to Ledger. So it's 11 by 17, hit Create. So it's going to give me my blank document. Now I am going to go over here to where I had my grid. I'm going to go to Select All. I'm going to go Edit, Copy. And then I'm going to go Edit, Paste. So it places it into the little structure. Then one thing I am going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to lower the opacity. That way I can see through it, but I kind of know where it's at. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking elements that I pulled from my resource folder to put into this. So I'm going to take this and kind of make kind of a loose poster for the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, mainly just because I could easily find lots of resources. So to start with, I'm going to probably look for what would be my main kind of points. So that would be my main ones that goes there and there. So for this one, I was thinking I was going to use pictures of the Beatles themselves. So I have this little picture here. So I'm going to go grab the selection tool. I'm going to drag and create a little rectangle box over this. And I'm going to go Edit, Copy. Go to that new project. Make sure I'm in the background layer. That way I can kind of see the little grid over the top. And I'm going to go to Edit, Paste. You notice it's small, so that means I got to transform it. So I'm going to go Edit, Free Transform. Hold the Shift key if you want to keep the constraints of the image. When I do this, I do want to make it a little bit bigger than my actual box. If it does go bigger, I am not too worried about it. Because once I hit enter, if it extends off a little bit, I can always go through, take the little selection tool, drag across the bottom, hit backspace, take it out. Remember to deselect. So I've kind of put a general little spot to start with. Next thing I'm going to do is grab something that I can put into the main other box. For that one, I was going to go with the submarine. So when I do this, for this one, just to do it quickly, I'm going to grab the polygonal lasso. And right now, I'm not too worried about extra kind of material I'm bringing with. I just want to kind of lay it out to get a sense of where things are at. Because once I have it laid out, it's easy to go back in, make adjustments, because then I know how all the elements kind of play together. So again, once I've got selected, I'm going to copy it. Paste it. Also, again, I'm going to have to transform it. Again, if things aren't exactly the same size, that's fine. Just kind of get them close. Next, I'm going to look at some like the background kind of elements. So for this one, I am going to look to pull in parts of the background. So I'm going to open up the background. Again, grabbing that selection tool. If you chose a column structure, it does make it kind of easier because then you have mainly just boxes to fill in. So for this one, I'm trying to grab a spot. Once I get it, edit, copy it. Paste it in. Again, I'm at the transform it. Move some of the stuff around. And again, right now I'm just kind of putting stuff in. And then the top layer, I was going to go in and put the little Beatles logo. So for this one, if I want to grab just like the yellow part, so what I'm going to do for this one is go to the magic wand, click on the white area. Again, I'm not too worried that other little white parts, I can always delete them out later. And again, if you don't grab a lot with your magic wand, remember, don't forget about the tolerance. You may need to bump it to like 70, 75, so it makes sure it grabs more. And then I'm going to actually go to select, do the inverse, so it actually grabs the type. And then I'm going to copy it, paste it. Again, I'm going to have to transform it. So once I have things kind of roughed out, then I can go back in and make some adjustments. But I can also turn off my grid so you can kind of see how I've started laying this out. So you get a chance to kind of see how things are going. And again, you can always move layer order and go back in and kind of clean some stuff up. So there's the basics of using kind of a structure to kind of lay things out. If you have questions, please email me.